Hey, Melinda. Happy New Year. Hope you had a awesome New Year. Thanks for being here. Uh, and I tell everybody that pops up, if you like my content and whatnot, just hit that subscribe button. It helps support the channel. Hey, Lisa. How you doing, love? Hey, Andy. Everybody just got some nicknames around here. You watched the video of the graveyard? Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit today and some experiences that um, I've talked about over the years and working on your car. Okay. Uh, some experiences, over the years, and then what I have explained, a pretty good bit of this to you guys. Um, but when you get somebody like I do, not only is it interesting to see how they react to it. Um, there's a lot of there's more paranormal on this earth right now than they've ever been. Uh, that Christina, she'll tickle you to death anyway, and anyhow, I've been seeing something like like uh, black spots or something other, crawling across the floor or around the wall or something. To my accent. That's what Christine was talking to some girl up there at work about me. I don't know. I'm just country fried, I reckon. Um. Anyway, I went to the cemetery the other day, and most of the time, I always say, no one can leave with us as, you know, except for so and so or whatnot. Well, I didn't. I didn't say that the other day when I went to uh, Free Home Cemetery. Yeah, it's what they call me, country fried. JD's country fried. Uh, I forgot to say that, and I thought, well, you know, maybe we'll slide by this time, but we haven't. It's been going on now about 4 or 5 days, which you know I'm okay with it. And the the reason we're even talking about this is I think that the person that has attached itself to is not me. I think it's Christina, and I I I know it's not nothing negative. I mean, there's no smell. There's nothing. Um, but from time to time, I do see it crawl across the floor, or like I said, on the wall somewhere here and there. And the other day, I was in the kitchen doing something other, and she was standing there at the kitchen door, and particularly she run over there to me. I said, "What in the world going on?" She said, "There was somebody sitting on that couch right there." I said, "Well, what did it look like?" She said, "I don't know, but I can see right through them." And this will also tell you why, like, a lot of time I wouldn't want to take right now, like Christina, to a cemetery or a abandoned building somewhere where she could get hurt. Because if you're in the middle of the woods at night and something spooks you and you take off running, you liable to run into some stobs, a tree limb, and really hurt yourself or worse. Um, I'd rather have like I think two night times up here, family cemetery. Um, but I've not let her do it anywhere else. But um, if y'all could just see sometimes the expression on her face, it just it you laugh till you wet yourself probably. But I heard the other day she wanted me to turn the spirit box on, so I did, and she talked to her mom about for about an hour, and when she went to sleep, I got back up and I asked who was doing this, and because this got to the point where, like, I was walking to the bathroom the other day and got between the living room and the hall, and it sounded like everything in the living room just fell. Well, they didn't. They didn't. Nothing happen. Nothing out of place nowhere. Well, then we hear it in the kitchen. Nothing. Good deal, Annie. Um, and you know, when he spoke, I didn't I didn't recognize the voice, and that kind of got me a little bit sketchy because we've been hearing my uncle James Earl a lot come through, and I still never got no full name. Um, I heard uh, if I, if I'm not badly mistaken, I heard Gary, the name Gary, but um, I've known for a little while probably why it's showing itself the way it is, and that's because that's one of Christina's greatest fears. Hey, Tanya. Okay, is spiders. So a spirit can present itself to you in any way they want to, and especially if they wasn't too good in life, they're not going to be good in death. That's just the way it is. So it's nothing satanic or demon or nothing like that, but people blow things out of proportion sometimes. But she she was talking to me about it because she heard someone say "hey" right in her ear, and I said, "Okay." I said, "We're going to have to talk about this." And I said, "Christine," I said, "You know what your greatest fear is, right?" She said, "Yeah, spiders." I said, "What have you and me both been seeing?" And she says, "It's like a big spider crawling across the floor." I said, "Okay." I said, "What about what you seen on the couch?" She said, "A full body operation." I said, "Okay, there's two." "What about what the things we are hearing?" And she said, "Sounds like just the house is crashing in or something." And I said, "This thing is trying to do whatever it can do to get your attention and spook you a little bit. It may be a teen or whatever, just getting some laughs out of the deal. Um, but here in the home, I wouldn't let nothing negative be here no way. But I think that she's getting some of the best paranormal experiences, AMZ, not only in graveyards or mausoleum or whatever. She's also getting it right here at home, which I feel safer with. Um, the other day she was at work and she, yeah, um, she was at work. She called me and was telling me a different time she's getting off or whatever. And uh, she said, "Your voice sounds awfully deep." And before the phone rang, I had a rush of cold air, just sitting in there in the recliner. I knowed what it was. And the whole time I was talking on the phone, I felt that coldness, just like if you stand there with the door daggum open. And, we kind of brushed it off. And then yesterday, we tried out that new camera. And I told her, don't walk like a board or too stiff. I said, just be comfortable. And she said, I always walk slow. The moment, and I'm talking about the moment, that she says the word slow, you can hear her voice change into a man's voice. And I replayed it over and over with her last night. And it just blew her mind. I said, now tell me what you told me on the phone the other day about my voice. I said, you see what I'm talking about? I said, it's doing everything it can to build some energy. And I said, don't fear it because there ain't nothing to be afraid of. I said, but sooner you learn to ignore it, the sooner it'll move on and they'll go bother somebody else. Um, but Christina is kind of vulnerable, she just kind of got whammed, with all this stuff, and uh, she, uh, it's hard to be serious kind of around her because she's just, yeah, she's just, you know, she's crazy funny, Who knows what's going to happen next? I have no idea, but I have told people a lot of time, when they ask me a question, I try my best to explain it the best I know how. And like you said a minute ago about my accent, well, daggum, I can't have it. I tell it like it is. And spirits a lot of time they're lousy spellers, they're lousy speakers sometimes. Um, but when they got just the right amount of energy, they can get a word out, or sometimes even most of a sentence out. And I was trying to show Christina how they use our energy, and she keeps her mind focused on what she's going to hear next. She can have her ear pod in her ear, but she's still listening out to the side to see if she hears anything. If she hears a pop or crack around there, she'll take that out of her ear and look, and when she acknowledges it, that gives it energy. It knows that she's vulnerable, you know, and just trying to, you know, aggravate the piss out of her a little bit. And I, I think no, uh, I think that this is the best way, the most peacefulest way to get anybody to really understand what I go through on a day to day basis. It's like that for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is no cutoff switch. And, I've done been through all that, Like I said, I started in the paranormal when I was 7 years old. Didn't even know what it was. And I can see me in her when she reacts of how I did when I was a little boy, or a teen or whatnot. I've told her, and people all around the world has asked if you're dealing with something that is demonic, it's not going to be of human life source. If you have something that is pure demonic, it has never been human in the first place. It's something that preys on the vulnerable. Um, it can start off like trying to be your friend, like a lot of children, they have imaginary friends. Well, a lot of times that ain't imaginary. Sometimes it's legit. Well, yeah, is is let's see, best way to say this. I don't know how to explain stuff except for just the old fashioned way. Um, when when things happen, even when I was coming up through all this, it was a learning experience. And that's what I try to do here. Because a lot of time, I would say 99.9% of the time, like if I call out to a loved one from one of you guys, hey, Carol, and you get a response back, I tell people, don't think nothing if you see, hear, or feel something over the next, few days, weeks, maybe even a month or so. It's just their way of letting you know that they're around. And pure, and I mean pure demonic, it will have a smell of sulfur that you just can't bear. You have to move away from the spot, the area. You can't stand there. That is something that can, what they call jump you. And if it goes too far, it can possess you. Now, it takes a good while for it to get to that type level. Um, Sometimes it's being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I've spoken of this a lot of time. It's all about timing. Hey, Sabina, um, you doing laundry while the baby laying down? There you go. Um, I can't answer right now. Sorry, guys. Thank you. Um, anyway, uh, paranormal experiences is like numbers. It's never enough. You can't learn enough. If somebody tells you that they're a paranormal expert, they've just wasted 20 seconds of their air telling you that they can't get back, because that is a dadgum lie. Hey, Mammy. Um, and when I say paranormal is like numbers, that's exactly what I mean. Numbers don't stop. There's I can count on both hands the times that people have hit me up and tell me that they got poltergeist going on in the house, and you know all kind of racket going on, this and that, moving stuff, and people get it twisted a lot of time. Poltergeist is something that is evil, but most of the time it just wants you out of its space. It's not something that would really tag along with you. It's just something that will hound you until you do get out of its space. Um, and they can be so precise that they can stack things that you wouldn't think gravity could hold in that angle. Um, Things moving, uh, lights going on and off, you know, just all sorts of things. But like I said, on two hands, I can count the times that I've been to someone's house that really had anything negative in it. 9 times out of 10 is something related to the land, or it's a loved one trying to get attention. And until you acknowledge that, you're going to experience all these kind of things. It not everything out there is bad, you know. And a lot of people want to try to flip the script, but that don't work. If something's going on and it's aggravating you or whatever, okay, uh, just ignore it. Just ignore it. And when it figures out that you ain't gonna pay no attention to it, it'll move on somewhere else to somebody else. Um, but these type paranormal experiences that she's having, they're they're humble. They're not hateful. They're not hurting anything. Um, and even if like I said 1,000 times, if you're good in life, you're gonna be good in death, and vice versa. If something pure evil is around you, there's several different things that you're going to take place or have take place. I mean, you're going to experience bite marks. You're going to experience scratches. You're going to experience migraine headaches, fatigue, um, all these things, because it's not just them particular. When they get in a home and settle in, they can use all the energy that house has put the energy that's put into that house throughout the sockets, light fixtures, you name it. And the more that you fear it, the stronger it can get. And that's why I say very early on, if it's something that you think that is like that, you've had that stench of sulfur, you're experiencing skin irritations and scratches and all that. That's because you didn't brush it off early enough. You just allowed it to carry on. That's just like for a drunk or alcoholic. I mean, if you take the alcohol away, they can't get it. But if you give it to them, they're going to drink it no matter what you tell them. Same thing. They're going to do whatever they can do to get the best of you. And if it's pure evil, it wants your soul. Of course it does. Makes it just that much more stronger, physical, and everything else. And people take paranormal out in a way different spectrum than it is. Uh, they they are more paranormal from things like Native American, Indian burial grounds itself, um, that where a home or a business or something, or even an old home. If you bought an old home and you want to do a fixer up, when you start fooling around that way, you stir up the spirits because it's not like they had it. It ain't the way they want it, and they will do whatever they can to get you out of the house. People don't even realize half the time where someone can be laying at any given time. And I can tell you, uh, you know, people throughout the years have died all over the place. I mean, like a forest. They could be people right there under that forest. The ground can be sour right there. Uh, Indian mounds. If if it, the Indian territory, if they got pissed off about something when they got took off their land, they would leave a past loved one there on the property to take care of it, and would cause all kind of chaos if you try to build or do something, you know, on that property. That's just the way they believed, and they're destined to cause you hell until until you move, because you're not going to make no treaty with the deceased Native American, Indian, anything. You're not going to make no deal with it. The best thing to do is do some homework on your property so you know what you're getting into. Because just about every place that I've ever done, they didn't do no homework on the history of the property, or they could be in a fixer up home that had an item in it that was a great possession of someone that used to live there. And you move it out of its spot where they're normally seeing it, it's going to piss them off. That's like if you come home and say your aunt or sister or brother or cousin or something moved all your dishes around. You went to go get you a glass of tea and you can't find your tea glass. There you go. It's going to piss you off. That's just the way it is. Yeah, I'm able to do home sessions as well. Yeah, just having fun. Yeah, yeah. Um, the paranormal can be fun. It can be a learning process, but it's also something you got to be cautious with because not everything that seems good is. I mean, evil can disguise itself. I've seen it time after time where it sounds like a child, and then when you go face to face with it, it's not. It's just someone that was evil in life. Um, because however you are in life, that's how you're going to be in death. And we all know how much bad they are on this old earth. We can't get away from the ones that we got around now. We sure can't get away from when we're in the realm ourselves. So it's best people learn everything they can now to kind of understand how to deal once your number's called. You know, hey Kathy, I'd rather know going in my grave that I've got some acknowledgement um, on what I need to do to uh, take care of myself and gather energy and be with my family and make sure everything and everyone is safe and you know just wait for the good Lord to come back. Um, but a lot of people just don't want to take the time to learn about the paranormal. I guess that's why I've got 98% female fan base is because they're all willing to learn and understand, and they know it's a learning uh, subject. And again, you can have fun with it. I mean, there's nights we think we're gonna get down serious, and it turned out to be a comedy show. You know, we never know what's gonna happen here. Never. I mean, that Christina, I tell you, I'm gonna have to film her one night. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to set up the camera. Um, Probably about a week or so ago, uh, Christina was over on the couch, just had her ear thing in one ear and watching TV with the other, wasn't thinking about nothing. And mother went over there and touched her on the side of her neck. She like jumped plumb up off that couch. She said, "What in the world was that?" And I said, "Well," I said, "What did you feel?" She said, "Something cold as ice on my neck." they they do little things, to just get attention, So people talking all negative and you know that everything's out there to get you, you're just fooling yourself because they're not as interested in you as you are yourself, um, unless you cross the boundary line. Um, you know, it's kind of like animals. A lot of time an animal is more scared of you than you are of it. And I don't think it's going to be having to take too much more time before Christina is pretty well fully able to cope with everything. Um, that's right. I wouldn't want to do anything, uh, you know, uh, without putting the Lord in it. I ain't got no use in it. Uh, that's just like my home and my relationship and everything else. It's got to have the good Lord in it, or I don't want it. Period. Um, all these all these teens and children and stuff that we've done over the time. Um, I know for the last few days, you know, we've been doing some children and whatnot, and this last one here, Jonathan Everett. Hey, Johnny. Um, I wanted to have us time for a week, and then that way, the second week of the year, we could have, you know, done whatever we needed to do with other people. Um, and I even said that's what I want to do. Um, but I'm going to put a child before us anytime. You know, um, somebody hits me up with a child, and I know for a fact that they've not been found and whatnot. That's going to be the main priority, and everybody should know that and acknowledge that. So within the first week of this gum year, lost a little girl and at Jonathan Everett Bowley. So there's, I think hers was a while back, but Jonathan's was just the other day. Um, the people that are doing all these things to these children, one day we're going to have to endure or handle them ourselves when it's our turn to go, because like I said, they're going to they're going to try the same thing with you in death as they did here. uh, it, and they we speak of cults here in the physical, but there are also cults in the realm that try to get small children, women, young boys, and whatnot, so they can gain more energy. So even in death, you still have to make sure that to be safe is stick with your family. You know, always be around your family, because in the end, that's what's going to matter. Um, because if you stray out, then you're subject to be pinned down as well. And that's one reason why I like to give people a voice to hear their story, what what they're going through. Um, and even in death, here years so ago, Rose was scared of some guy that was in the round, uh, till we got Ava involved, and then she's fine again. Um, it, it's just like transformation from here to there. I mean, one minute everything is just like this. Within a matter of a blink of an eye, there you are. You've done, your heart's done stopped. You're coded. You're transitioning, and everybody that passes can tell a different tale of how they felt when that moment come. I've heard some say that they've heard a little pop or a little click, um, and next thing they know, they could see themselves leaving the body, but they couldn't stop themselves from moving, so they just go right on up, and I guess that's when any anyone that the good Lord sends down uh, can either put you on the right track of getting to your family, um, just or to an object that uh, you love so much, whatever it is that you feel most comfortable with. Um, like a death angel. Hey, Beck, everybody is born with one, and you know that comes into where Michael does his job, because a lot of people fight demonic things on a daily basis, and I can tell you, he's got his hands full dealing with all that. And they say that, or a lot of them have said that they can feel themselves moving. They don't see no arms, no legs, no nothing. They're just like a little piece of dust flying in the air. Just, I mean, they know it's them, but they're just there. And you have, that's when you have to learn to figure out how to gather energy and to speak and touch. Because once you're, once you have been deceased, it ain't like you can come in here and just pick up that just can of Coke here and take a drink in that bit. No, it don't work like that. The only way they can move that can is if they build up enough energy. And that's what a lot of, well, that's, no, it ain't just a lot, it's everything that the devil wants. When he can get some bad people that was bad in life, in death, to gather energy, then that's when they will try to bring you down in bad health or whatever they can do to you, um, until they end up taking your soul. And yeah, it's bad. It's never good. But I can tell you this now, and it can save your butt in the long run. Have faith in the good Lord, and even in death, He'll guide you. But you got to have that faith. I I have seen people just being so where they just every little bitty thing they hear or think they see or whatnot, just ball up and cry and carry on and whatnot. And I had to learn this really early on. When you are depressed, you're down and out, that's the same way your loved ones are going to feel. Spirits run off muscle memory, and they use their energy to manifest or speak. And that's why I try to tell people, if you want to keep a loved one alive, you talk about them, you think about them, think of the good things, push the bad away. Think of all your good times that you did have, if you got any. If not, and say, hey, okay, I'm going to be the better person. Look, I should have done this or I should have done that. And I guarantee you, once you clear that up with yourself and accept it, you'll start hearing from that loved one. Um, but you got to be an open book. I mean, you can't keep a wall up and expect someone to be able to do a session for you and then you hear anything. It don't work like that. However you feel is how they're going to feel. They can hear every thought you think, bad or good. You know, people send more with their minds than they do by physical touch or whatnot. It's an impulse. It's called muscle memory. You know, let me see the best way to describe this. Um, ha, everybody knows what static is, right? Every one of you, you know what static is. You probably had a blanket or something that has some static to it, or get a balloon, rub it on the floor a little bit, and stick it over your hair, and your hair raise up. Well, what do you think that is? Why do you think that balloon touching the floor on carpet or whatnot, and then you put it over your head, it stands up? What's making that do that? What is static? It is energy. Our energy pulses all the time, every heartbeat, all the time until it stops. They can hear, they can feel your emotions, your thoughts. Yeah. Um, you know, I think that's the best way for people to kind of understand how energy works. And probably at some point in time in your life, you've dealt with an old towel or a rag or something other that was staticky, like you have to pull it apart kind of to get it folded right. Um, or you can even get a balloon and rub it on your hair, and then pick the balloon up, and the hair will follow it. Same way there. Now us just using our own little bit of energy, but you imagine spirits that can use all their outlets and sockets and whatnot. That's, I mean, just like I said the other day, if you pick up the phone and call China, within a blink of an eye, the phone's going to start ringing in China from where you are. All that energy, everything that has any source of energy, spirits can use it. Yeah, yeah. So, there's good and there's bad all over the place. You know, it's like people you run with or your kids run with. Uh, there's going to always be a bad one in the bunch. You know what I mean? Um, but no, not everything is bad. Um, like I said, most of the time it has to do with the land or just a loved one trying to get your daggum attention. Um, when you whenever you pass, and when during the funeral process, and then everybody leaves and just don't come back for a while. Just think about how that would might make you feel. Um, and that's one of the reasons why I like, yeah, that's why I like giving everybody in the realm a voice. That's good. Uh, and you would know the difference if it was something negative or positive. Um, if it was negative, you couldn't stand to be standing, or I mean, you couldn't stand it with the smell. Uh, it would gag you out. I mean, this is something that would gag a maggot. Okay, so you know you would have a lot of problems going on. A lot of times they'll fool with electronics. I've seen them blow up TVs, refrigerators, you know, all kind of junk. Um, and that's just a bunch of young nut jobs, you know, that passed probably from a daggum overdose, or, you know, drinking, having parties and acting crazy. And they come in and figure out how they can destroy your stuff. And they think it's a good time for them. Yeah, that's what I try to focus on all the time. Is a good. Um, but I had to talk about that today. I it like I said, I don't think that you can get somebody to have these experiences in a better place than in your own home. Um, to get them, you know, immune to the feel, the hearing, um, the chills. Um, yes. Um, so I'm thankful for what they have done for Christina. After a good while of gradually letting her really do some in the dark, it's going to be in places that I know if she was to spook, that she would know right where the truck is or whatnot. I wouldn't take her out in the woods to an old cemetery or nothing like that right now, period. Um, but once she gets to that point, then yeah. Hmm, no telling. Somebody may have a good liking to it then at some point in time. Wanda, she always liked making them cinnamon toast. Damn thing. Um, that's like my mother. Uh, she can just walk by me or just be in a room somewhere, and I can smell her perfume. Um, Again, the paranormal experiences for people, don't judge it by the book cover. Don't be cautious. Just be aware of your surroundings. You know, think outside the box sometimes, not to think bad every time some little something goes on. Um, and another thing I want to say too, people can stress their own self out and put the blame on family and anybody they can except for themselves. And when you do that, and I've seen people do it 1,000 times, when you do that, you're sitting there and you're feeling sorry for yourself. You make yourself vulnerable. And it is a proven fact that you can create your own hell here on earth. You know, and all it takes is to move from that and say, okay, look, hey, I'm going to be the better person here. I'm not going to worry about the past. I'm going to worry about where I'm going next. And get everything off your shoulders. And like like I do, when I talk to the Lord, I do it every day. I'm not one of these people that if something's bad's going on, that's when I talk to him. No, I do it before anything ever happens. Every day, all day long, 24/7. The Lord knows my faith. And people, if they would just understand, and I'm talking about people out in the world, all over the world, if people understand that, the good Lord works through anybody and everybody. Um, you know, you was to say something to one person that lifts their spirits, they say something to somebody that lifts their spirits. That's that's how the good Lord can work through people. Um, you know, faith is the strongest power that's on this earth and ever will be. Faith. Um, yeah, they probably do. Uh, there's children everywhere, and not only that, animals as well. Uh, so anything living and breathing has a soul. They all have a purpose. Uh, that's right. That's right. Well, I wanted to get on here and tell about these paranormal experiences that she's having, and I pray that any paranormal experience that you guys ever was to experience or have experienced in your home or whatnot, if any of this feedback here that I'm saying now kind of makes you think of something that at some point in time in your life that this has happened or is an ongoing thing, then you understand where we're coming from. And like I said, this is a place to learn about the paranormal. Anybody that's interested, because every day, every minute of the day is a new learning experience. Where if our subconscious realizes it or not, we do. And we think hard enough, we can bring that to the table. And that's what I try to do all the time. Sometimes my mind just goes blank here lately. Uh, so I'm a little slow on it a little bit. Uh, I try to do shows that everybody be interested in and whatnot. And we are going to get back to pulling names out of the jar. We are going to do that. Uh, we may even do a few tonight as well. Now she don't get off till 9 o'clock, so it'd probably be around 10 or 10:30. Uh, if we get to go live, didn't go live. I think it was last night. Uh, kept messing up just cause it was raining and wind was blowing a little bit around here. Um, but anytime we can, we'll be on when she's off. Um, there's something here I want you guys to listen to. um, what I'm going to uh, let you guys hear is the changing changing of the voice uh, from female here in the physical and the spirit and a spirit speaking through someone. Um, there's a spot here in this video, and I wish every one of you and everybody that watches this show today. That's right. Because if you open your eyes, He's already blessed you. Uh, this here, uh, I uploaded it late last night. Uh, EVP graveyard session. Uh, y'all really listen to it. I'm gonna time tag it so you guys can loop it if you need to. Terry gonna walk around a little bit, try out a new camera, and see how it goes. I heard also her shirt is pretty. There's Summer said, "Where's me, G?" Larry. I don't know what they're talking about a pinch of dirt. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, mother. But it's when I Mama tell Christina, don't walk like a board. Just I love you guys. You're trying to walk slow and whatnot. You don't have to. You can just walk normal. It's got like a balancer on it. And she says, I heard you there, Summer. Hey, Larry. Yeah. And she says, I always walk slow. I love you. And at that point in time, can you hear me? I'm going to let you guys hear it, but I also want you to get on your devices, use your earbuds, loop it, or whatever you got to do, rewind it, whatever you have to do. This here is going to be a very important piece of the paranormal field. Now, Friendly, yeah. This is very important here, and it teaches you exactly how easy it is for a spirit to work through you. And if you think they're quick and easy to work through you, just imagine the power of the good Lord working through you, speaking through to you. The only way goodness don't come out your mouth at some point in time is because the daggum devils took over about everything that you believe in. And it ain't ever too late to change it. That's a good thing. There's people all over the world that are skeptics, and I say all the time, spend one day with me, and I can get you to go home a believer.
With their own words. I'm doing it. Just be comfortable.
Be right in here. Let me.
Christina's saying I'm gonna let her describe it to you guys.
Hang
on live here after a while. With her own words. Granddaddy, love you. Mama, love you. Mother, love you. Larry, love you. Jay-Z. Hey, you don't have to walk like a board. I'm doing it. Just be comfortable.
Listen to this.
What? Well, something to drink and then something and then water. Or... You may have done said, hey, JC, I don't know, but hey again. There you go.
That's right.
Mama, we're going to walk over here and talk to James and them a little bit.
It's coming up.
It's definitely the best action thriller drama I've ever done.
Get off my cellular device.
James and them a little bit.
I've got this loud. I want you to hear it. Now, again, remember, it's right when I'm saying, look, don't walk like a board, just be comfortable. I said, because you're walking slow. And she responds, I always walk slow. And when she says the word slow, listen to how it changes.
Don't walk too stiff. She's using this camera for the first time, and just be comfortable. Just don't walk stiff. And the only thing you don't need to do is like turn your head real quick. But walking, I mean, it's gonna have it in it regardless. But I think the turning of the head too quick, that would probably be the only thing that would let us miss anything if we see anything in the background. But I see that you're walking real slow. Just try to
always walk slow.
Did you hear that? Get a pen and paper, every one of you. I want y'all to do this. Every one of you. I'm fixing to give you a timeline right here. Go ahead, and then y'all let me know when you get it ready. Because like I said, if you have to rewind it, do it again. Rewind it a little bit, do it again. Rewind it. Whatever you got to do, just do it. And y'all come back and leave comments. Our comments go out a good ways too. So on this video right here, I asked all of you, if you've got Facebook, if you've got any other platform, share this video. Explain in the comment of what, on whatever you share with, explain what, is being done here and how a spirit can communicate through you to someone else. That is one of the top best paranormal experiences that anyone can have without it being something negative. All right, here we go. All right, 4 minutes and 36 seconds. 4 minutes, 36 seconds. And I will repeat again. 4 minutes, 36 seconds. Now I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm back it up just a couple of seconds. Listen to it again. When Christina says, "I always walk slow," during the word slow, during the word, listen to how her voice changes, and a spirit speaks through her, and a male at that.
But walking, I mean, it's going to have it in it regardless. But I think the turning of the head too quick, that that would probably be the only thing that would let us miss anything if we see anything in the background. But I see that you're walking real slow. Just try to
always walked slow.
just
Did you hear that? I mean, there's no way to miss it, guys. I mean, I am so thankful, Angela. I, I, I I'm proud of Christina. She knows that making videos in general, paranormal, whatever we're doing, she's game for any of it, and she has a good daggum time doing it, and that just makes it even better for me. But anybody, I don't care if you're wearing two hearing aids, you can hear that male voice speak through her. That is how a spirit can take to you, speak through you. Um, Whoever did it, I've not yet deciphered who said it, um, but they wanted to be acknowledged as well. That hey, okay, you know, I want to speak here a little bit too. They had just enough energy to gather with her. She's the only one saying this. The moment he feels that he can do it, he's going to finish the the ending of the word or question. And we hear this all the time. Make no mistake. When we're doing running a spirit box, how many times do we hear people trying to say a sentence they cut off because they lose energy, but someone else picks up and finishes their word or comments. We hear it all the time. And just thank God we caught it here out in the field, so you guys can hear this and know what to listen for, and you know just just share this daggone video, guys, everywhere. um about the only thing really she said about it, because she didn't even realize it as it happened. I didn't realize it when it happened there, because there were other spirits talking. um I, if I had my choice of who I think that would be, it would probably have to be my Uncle James Earl, more than likely. Um, but you can watch how she she don't she didn't hear it, she didn't realize it. You can hear her when she talks throughout the whole thing. Any word she says, nothing like that happens again. It's only that one moment. And again, it's all about timing. If we got there a minute or two before then or after then, we may not have caught it. Everything is about timing. Yeah, they can work through dreams as well.
Be comfortable.
One more time.
Just don't walk stiff. And the only thing you don't need to do is like turn your head real quick. But walking, I mean, it's gonna have it in it regardless. But I think the turning of the head too quick, that that would probably be the only thing that would let us miss anything if we see anything in the background. But I see that you're walking real slow. Just try to
always walk slow.
just try to what kids?
I mean,
Somebody said you're killing me. Anyway, just
see what I'm talking about, guys? Just go back to this. Yeah, just go back, rewatch this show, or I mean, the video and this one. Uh, but share that video and share the this here show as well. Um, I don't know of a better way to explain paranormal experiences. No better than I'm saying it. Um, I don't know high tech words and all this crap. I don't need it. You've been in this field as long as I have. You just sense it. You feel it. You know it's it's just energy. That is all it is. It's just energy. Hey Patricia, um, sorry you called us here to tell in, love. But you can go back and watch it. And guys, what time did I say that was? Patricia, if you will, uh, go back and watch the video uploaded last night, the graveyard, EVP's graveyard uh, video, and go to 4 minutes and 36 seconds. And you will hear a spirit speak through Christina and move from female voice to male voice. Um, and I'm asking everybody to share this on your platforms, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you may have. Let's get it out there, guys, and let people hear it. Sorry that you called us that tail end, though. But again, I'm proud of Christina. She's hitting this thing a home run every time. I think she did good. They wouldn't know. That's why I was asking about the quality of the camera. She done so well. Everything looks so pure and clean. I mean, it was to me, it was about a 10 on 10. Um, there were no discrepancies in it. They wouldn't, you know, no flaws in it anywhere. Um, but just go back to 4 minutes and 36 seconds. If you're speaking to a friend, if you've got a friend to say, hey, I want you to listen to something real quick, show them that spot. Because I'm telling you, I'm sure a lot of you have got somebody that you can say, hey, come here and listen to this for a minute. That's probably already in your home or comes by every once in a while. Just show it. I love every one of you. And like I said, we'll try to come back on again tonight, probably between 10 and 10:30. I love you all.